Hi everyone and welcome back to my kind of a podcast. Today is episode 10. I'm recording this video a little early because I have already planned my English video for this week. I will be editing it later today, but I came across a video that told me about a topic that I wanted to talk about, and since I'm already sitting here recording my French video, I decided to go ahead and do that now. Hopefully I will manage to finish this video because I'm a little sick today and I've been coughing my lungs out all week. Today that I'm recording this is actually Ash Wednesday, which is the last day of carnival back home. This is why I have this little get up, my little pigtails and my Simba ears that I got when I last went to visit Disneyland. Today I would like to discuss this topic that I came across while watching a video of Abba and Preach here on YouTube. Hi guys, I want to be you when I grow up, even though I'm older than both of you. It was regarding a statement from a university union that said that people should be able to self-identify as Black in the same way that people, transgender people, self-identify their gender as male or female. Here's why I have an issue with that. I understand the concept of body dysphoria, by which a person can be born with male or female genetic makeup and genitals, but feel that they identify with the opposite gender, or both, or none. They get a psychological assessment, they get a diagnosis, and it is decided that for their general mental well-being, it is in their best interest to go through a transition. It will involve hormonal treatment or not, surgery or not, change of name and gender or not, depending on the situation. But because of the simple fact that someone's gender implies a lot more than just aesthetics in our society, I find it really hard to draw any valid comparison between ethnic background, racial identity, and gender. Allow me to explain a little further. Disregarding the basic biological differences between male and female, like females get pregnant, males don't, and such. Our society is extremely gendered. We separate our toilets and changing room by gender. We celebrate the first female to perform a task, even when men have been performing the same task for a very long time, irrespective of the fact that it is a task that men and women can perform equally well. First female doctor, first female president, and we still have expectations of certain jobs to be performed primarily by a specific gender, like midwives or firemen. When somebody transfers from one gender to another, or both, or none, they essentially become somebody else. And because of that, once the transition is completed, they actually expect to be treated in a different way, if only just the pronouns that they expect people to use when addressing them. Now, when we talk about race, which is also a social construct but in a different way, if a white person decides to identify as Asian, hello weeaboos, they do not become a different person, and they do not expect to be treated any different. And they definitely should not be treated any different. To me, a person claiming to be transracial is more akin to a man wanting to wear high heels than an actual transgender woman. So it's the difference between Vincent McDoom and Laverne Cox, essentially. Like I already discussed in episodes 4 and 9, race is a social construct, and people's cultural identity matches that of the place where they grew up. Rachel Dolezal is a white woman who identifies with the culture of the Black people she grew up around. And that's absolutely fine. She doesn't need to identify as Black to wear a kinky curly weave, have a side job braiding hair, or enjoying soul food. It's okay to be who you are and to like what you like. I would also like to point out that I do not agree with the rhetoric by which being black is only about discrimination, struggle, and strife. That sentence, everyone wants to be black until it's time to be black, I don't really subscribe to that kind of mentality. Bad things do happen, sadly, but being black does not boil down to just that. In conclusion, a world that would accept that you can identify as white or black would be a world that accepts that being black or being white means you are a different person and you ought to be treated differently. That the world would have different expectations of you based on your chosen race. And mind you, right now we're not talking about things like affirmative action, which is just a measure that was put into place to fill a gap where there was something missing. This is not the way the world should be. It was just a way to try and correct a mistake that had been done previously. I believe that we as a collective have decided that we would like to move away from a world where being black or being white actually matters a few decades ago. So I'm really not sure why some people are trying to bring those days back. I really find it hard to envision a world where we could put race and gender on equal footing. As much as I agree that racial or sexual discrimination should not be a thing, we cannot say that being a man or a woman is the same thing in the same way that we say being black or white is the same. If you get to pick one or the other, or none, or both, it's because your choice matters. And also because that choice has consequences. When you choose to be black, nothing changes. So let's not try and bring back the days when it did matter. Here are the thoughts I wanted to put out into the world today. I thank you very much for spending this little time with me, and I hope you enjoyed it, and that I will see you again next week where we will talk about something completely different. Have a good day. Goodbye.